Is it just me, or does it feel like there's very little excitement for Samsung's foldables this year? Maybe because on the outset, all of these improvements feel like iterative upgrades and therefore not very exciting. But you know what? My experience with the Galaxy Z Fold 4 completely belies all preconceived notions. All the tiny changes on the Galaxy Z Fold 4, in my opinion, make for good quality of life upgrades. Hi, I'm Ershad, you're watching Tracking Tech English. This is our review of the Galaxy Z Fold 4, where I will go into the minute details of using this unique form factor on a daily basis. Alright, the very first point to establish here is that Samsung has made a few tweaks to the industrial design of the Galaxy Z Fold 4 when compared to the Galaxy Z Fold 3. It has shaved a considerable size from the height of the phone, and it is ever so slightly slimmer as well. Now, these are changes you won't be able to spot immediately with your naked eyes, but what you will be able to spot is when these phones are unfolded. Now the Galaxy Z Fold 4 is wider. Also adding to the improved ergonomics is the fact that the Galaxy Z Fold 4 is lighter and has flatter sides now. Now, these are tiny tweaks that actually makes it easier for you to now hold and use the Galaxy Z Fold 4 on a regular basis. However, the biggest change that Samsung has made this year is to the hinge construction. Now, instead of using a gear-based hinge construction that Samsung has been using from the initial Galaxy Z Fold to now the Galaxy Z Fold 3, this time around it has achieved a rotational effect using linear motion, which enables the hinge to be more compact and smaller as well. Plus, Samsung says that this hinge has been rated to fold and unfold 2 lakh times. I haven't tried that out yet. I definitely want somebody to do that live on YouTube so we know for sure that that's actually happening. But somebody did that with the Galaxy Z Fold 3 and it unfolded and folded for more than 2 lakh times. So that's really a good thing. So yes, I hope that that is possible with the Galaxy Z Fold 4 as well. But I did notice one very interesting thing is that when you push hard on the hinge over here like this, it's got a bit more of flex and you can hear the mechanism move inside. Now, the rest of the design ID is very similar to the Galaxy Z Fold 4. None of the port placements and the button placements have changed. You get the Type-C port, Type-C 3.2 port at the bottom. You get the power button with the fingerprint scanner, which is very fast to unlock the phone, and a volume rocker above it as well. And apart from that, you continue to get the stereo speaker setup on the top half when the phone is folded. So you get the speaker grill at the bottom and the top over here. And it's also extremely loud and dynamic. This is a proper stereo speaker setup and it sounds full and detailed. Take a listen for yourself. Now, to close out the design section, the Galaxy Z Fold 4 continues to have the awesome IPX8 rating, which was introduced with the Galaxy Z Fold 3, making these two the only foldables in the world to come with, waterproofing. Now, talking about the display, I want to talk about the inner displays first. What I did notice is that, the gap between the two halves when they are folded has increased now on the Galaxy Z Fold 4 compared to the Galaxy Z Fold 3. However, this also ensures that the crease has reduced now, which is not immediately apparent when you look at it visually because the crease is actually visible, but it is apparent when you swipe your thumb or your finger across the screen and you feel it. Although the crease doesn't really bother you in regular usage, similarly like how the new under display camera, which is far more invisible, won't really bother you after you start using the device daily as a tool. The outer display now has a slightly wider screen and therefore making it easier to type with your thumb. It's not still the best, but this will do. Unfortunately, I haven't tested Vivo's foldable out, but I'll take Michael Fisher's word on it. That seems to have the best, outer display. The Galaxy Z Fold 4's inner display continues to support the S Pen this time around. It's still very good, and since that crease doesn't crater too much, it feels nice to write down on it. But there's a case that you get separately for carrying the S Pen around this time around. I feel that that's not really a good case per se. It doesn't fit well, and especially the one that covers the outer display sort of falls off easily. So I would suggest that you pick up any third-party, aftermarket case instead. Now, if you've come this far and if you like the kind of content that we make, don't forget to hit the red subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it to get notified whenever we put out an awesome new tech video. Now, both these displays on the inside and the outside are fantastic, dynamic fluid 2x AMOLED panels with support for 120Hz refresh rate, and you get support for LTPO as well. On the outside, the screen refreshes from 48 to 120Hz. On the inside, it can actually refresh from 1Hz to 120Hz. Samsung is also using a new Eco 2 Plus technology, which apparently improves power efficiency by up to 25%. Now, I'm not talking numbers out here, but what I can tell you for sure is that the battery life has definitely improved, and I'll talk more about that in the battery section of the review. All you need to know is that these are fantastic panels through and through, where you get HDR support on Netflix and YouTube, and the peak brightness when you're playing HDR videos can touch 1200 nits. And if you take the phone outside and if you're in very harsh sunlight as well, the outdoor visibility is very good, and there's absolutely no color shift when you look at it at an angle either. Very good job with the display, Samsung. So if you're new to Track and Tech English, you wouldn't know that we actually do the camera comparison part of the review separately, because that's generally a longer video as well, because we talk about the camera performance in detail. Now for this video, I actually have compared the Galaxy Z Fold 4's cameras to the Galaxy S22 Plus. Now that's because Samsung generally doesn't fit the best cameras on its foldable phones. That is reserved for the S22 Ultra this year. So therefore, I'd suggest that you go and check that camera comparison. A link should pop up right now to find out if the Galaxy Z Fold 4 can actually perform better, or at least perform as good as the Galaxy S22 Plus. Now, for all those who don't want to watch a full video, spoiler alert, I'll tell you what the differences are like. Now, the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and the Galaxy S22 Plus basically have very similar camera performance, except for the fact that the HDR performance has improved on the Galaxy Z Fold 4, and the facial tone accuracy has actually worsened on the Galaxy Z Fold 4, which I hope Samsung can fix using an update. Oh, also, the selfie performance is going to be invariably better on the Galaxy Z Fold 4, because you can use the cover screen preview to use the rear cameras for capturing selfies. So you can use the primary, the telephoto, the ultra wide for far better quality as well. It's still very awkward to do it, but I mean, it's available if you want to. Alright, coming to the software experience, Samsung has for the very first time introduced One UI 4.1.1 based on Android 12L. It is running the July security patch, and I'm hoping that Samsung will push out the August security patch soon. But most importantly, what Android 12L brings to the table is a new taskbar that is available at the bottom of the display. Now, this taskbar replaces the option where you could pin the edge panel on the right or the left of the display on the Galaxy Z Fold 3. I really loved using this taskbar because you can jump into any app from the app drawer as well, which opens up as an overlay on top of it. Since the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 has a very powerful processor, it doesn't have any problem doing that. By the way, I faced no bugs and no ads whatsoever on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4, which is a fantastic thing, and it is one of the cleanest and neatest experiences of One UI. But the biggest problem with the Galaxy Z Fold 4 is the fact that it's not Samsung's problem entirely. It's a problem that exists in the Android space, and that is the tablet apps ecosystem is still not as evolved. Otherwise, I had a blast reading on the Galaxy Z Fold 4, which has of course replaced my Kindle. Also, before I forget, I've made a great video on the 25 best tips, tricks and hidden features for the Galaxy Z Fold 4. A link should pop up right now. You should definitely go check that out. Now, talking about performance, Samsung's approach here is to clearly optimize for battery life using the power efficiency of the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. Now, how it helps improve battery life is something that I'll talk about in more detail, But in our Antutu testing, I got a score of above 1 million points, and the Geekbench score is also very similar to the other Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 phones we've tested till date. But the one thing that the Galaxy Z Fold 4 does a lot is throttle, so that it doesn't heat up too much and doesn't eat up into the battery life either. In our CPU throttle and 3D Mark Wildlife stress test, the Galaxy Z Fold 4's stability scores were below average for sure. On the flip side, you also get ultra frame rates in multiplayer mode on Call of Duty, which is surprising, right? You don't get 120 FPS constant gameplay is what I noticed, even if you use the alternate game performance management, which pushes the performance and causes the phone to heat up. But I didn't see that happen because Samsung is very particular about ensuring that this phone doesn't get hot. It gets warm, but never too hot. So the Z Fold 4 is of course not meant for long gaming sessions, and I don't think that the Z Fold 4 is marketed towards hardcore mobile gamers. Definitely you can play the best mobile games out there on the Galaxy Z Fold 4. Only if you're playing it for shorter bursts of gameplay like I do. I generally play like about a couple of sessions of Apex Legends or a couple of sessions of Call of Duty, which lasts about 13 minutes at max. And for that, the Galaxy Z Fold 4 is fantastic. And I think that's the kind of gameplay that will happen on a phone like this, which is meant more for the corporate professionals out there who want to game a little bit on the go. This will be perfect. As for basic needs, including multitasking, the Galaxy Z Fold 4 doesn't let up. Now, depending on how you look at it, if you're somebody who's a hardcore gamer, this is definitely not the most powerful phone. But considering how much you can do with it and how much is possible on the Galaxy Z Fold 4, this could very well be the most powerful phone for you. Now, I'm sure you're curious to know, considering that I have alluded to multiple times in this review itself, how is the battery life on the 4400 mAh battery of the Galaxy Z Fold 4? I am happy to report, thanks to Samsung's software optimization, the 8 Plus Gen 1's power efficiency, and that new Eco 2 Plus, display on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4, the battery life on this phone is actually very good. When I battered the phone with gaming and benchmarks, I got about 5.5 hours of screen on time. And when I was using it casually, and normally like a regular user would, or like I would use in my daily usage where I wouldn't obviously be running benchmarks, I got even over 7 hours of screen on time, which is fantastic. And in context, when I had used the Galaxy Z Fold 3 last year, I would get only about 4.5 hours of screen on time, however hard I tried, max to max 5 hours. Therefore, the Galaxy Z Fold 4, for a foldable form factor and the fact that the battery size is not the biggest out there, it's actually very good battery life that I got with the Galaxy Z Fold 4. Of course, it's not iPhone 13 Pro Max or 13 Pro level battery life, but this will do. You can easily get about 1 day, actually more than 1 day of usage on the Z Fold 4 without having to worry about charging it. The problem with the battery is the charging speed that's offered on the Galaxy Z Fold 4, and that's just 25 watt charging speeds, which is a bit of a letdown considering the fact that it takes 1 hour 24 minutes to charge from 0 to 100. I think that all phones in 2022 should charge within an hour for sure. Apart from that, you do get support for wireless charging and reverse wireless charging as well, which is definitely a good thing. So the Galaxy Z Fold 4 is easily the best commercially available foldable phone in the world today. It's also the most expensive phone in India today, just to get that out of the way. But all this is not really new information, because the Galaxy Z Fold 4 is Samsung once again dominating its assertion in the foldable space, considering the Chinese players like Oppo, Vivo and Xiaomi haven't really pushed a lot to push their foldables out into the global market. So there's not really much of a real competition for Samsung. However, is that lack of competition making Samsung complacent? Are they not pushing the boundaries enough to innovate further in the foldable space? Thankfully, that's not really the case with the Galaxy Z Fold 4, because finally there is a new redesigned hinge which helps Samsung make the phone smaller, more compact, and hopefully sturdier as well. So should Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 users upgrade to the Galaxy Z Fold 4? No. But should Galaxy Z Fold 2 users upgrade from the Galaxy Z Fold 4? Oh hell yes. Now I'm sure that a lot of iPhone users must be wondering, should I switch to a foldable factor on an Android phone? Because this is probably the most exciting thing in the Android space today. About that, I'm not so sure, because long-time iPhone users would require a radical shift in mindset and thinking, because this phone forces you to use it as a tool for productivity, for gaming, for entertainment, and a lot more. So I'm a little bit on the fence about that. So that was my full review of the Galaxy Z Fold 4. I hope you guys liked it, and if you guys have any questions, do let me know in the comment section below. This is Ashad signing off. Keep tracking and stay safe.